2.2 Auckland.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Ads with Simon Pound from simonpound.com.
Simon Pound's with us this morning. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. And yourself, you're holding up in the storm. There's a big storm, the biggest storm on the planet, they say, headed towards
I
towards
saw
us.
that they were calling it that, and I thought, what does that mean? Like, if it was the biggest storm on the planet ever, then that would mean something.
Yeah.
But, like, at one point, somewhere on the planet, one storm has to be the biggest storm.
Yeah.
It doesn't really mean anything.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Potentially, the biggest storm could be as big as, like, Lake Taupo. You know? Like, there's nothing to say that means anything.
No, indeed. So let's just call it an ordinary weather event. Hey, Simon,
a big ass storm.
A big ass storm. Maybe it needs its own advertising campaign. Perhaps a user-generated.
The biggest storm ever would mean something.
Wouldn't need its own advertising campaign. A biggest storm ever, would it? It just speaks for itself. Simon, we are talking user-generated advertising. In particular, first up, a new campaign by Grab a Seat.
Yeah, like, it's a very fashionable thing. It has been for user-generated content and people to help make ads and stuff. And by definition, it's only as good as what people put in. So sometimes it works very well, and sometimes it doesn't always work that well. But an interesting one that's happened here is that Grab a Seat, who have these billboards that they have around the place, like visit the whānau without going down the financial wharepaku, or laugh all the way to the Banks Peninsula, or bugger off for bugger all. You know, they've had these kind of cheeky billboards that mine a little bit of the Kiwi idiom, and sometimes they're related to, like, public events and stuff. They say, you know, fly for the same price as an ex-MP.
Yeah.
So they have a competition online at the moment where you can write a Grab a Seat billboard yourself and be in to win 1,000 AirPoints dollars. The interesting thing is that the brief is pretty simple. It's Grab a Seat equals cheap flights, and it's meant to kind of keep the same tone and approach as the campaigns they run. The interesting thing about this campaign is that all of the entries that people have done are available to view online. And so at this stage, the thing's been running since it runs for about a month, so it's been running since about the 8th of September, and it goes until the 8th of October.
Yeah.
And at this point in the competition, there are 400 pages of 20 entries up there for viewing. And if anything, it goes to show that anyone who's ever thought that writing an ad is easy, or that anyone can do it, should probably go and have a look at 400 pages of 20 entries.
Oh, goodness.
Because they aren't universally good.
No. And the barrier to entry, of course, is very low. All you need to do is actually go to the website and just start typing.
Yes, and it's pretty much anonymous because people aren't really paying too much attention to who wrote them. So you can just go along and have a go. And there are some good ones. Some on the very first page, in fact, are quite good.
Like grab te papa for less than supper.
Sorry?
Grab te papa for less than supper.
Maybe more. Maybe it's the last page, 390 or whatever it is. I quite like small chicken, but not that many are very good, and it's quite amazing that the tone's off, and there's spelling mistakes, and there's just things that are grossly inappropriate, things that they'd never say. It's quite interesting, but it's nice to see people giving it a shot.
So can profanity make it up there as well?
I haven't seen any profanity,
but you can be a bit rude.
Yes. So you can be a bit cheeky, can't you?
Yeah.
I mean, being bad-spirited about it, which I was, because I made kind of like snide comments on internet things saying, you know, if anyone, I may invite anyone who thinks just anyone could write an ad to go and have a look here.
Yeah.
So then, of course, I went to submit one and made a spelling mistake, so that would teach me.
They put you in your place.
Yes, but yeah, it's worth going. If you are a funny and clever person with who thinks they can make an ad, head along to grabaseatbillboard.co.nz and have a whack at it.
Cool.
I'd like to contrast a lot of the ads on this that are visible for viewing on the site with some billboards that are around at the moment. One of which I really like is for the Spartacus Blood and Sand TV show.
Oh, yes.
And I believe it's DDB that does the advertising for that.
Yeah.
They make the advertisements for Sky, but I haven't been able to sort that out. But there's a huge billboard in Kingston that says, it's got a picture of the Spartacus man, and it says he has nothing to lose, not even his clothes.
Huh. Yeah.
And I just love it. I think it's such a cool billboard, such a cool approach. It's cheeky. It makes it into something that's quite fun. It plays on what people have already heard about it being quite a naughty show with lots of nudity, but it moves it into the realm of being kind of a bit fun rather than a bit sleazy.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really cool billboard.
Kind of makes me want to see the show, actually.
Yeah, and it makes it it takes it out of the brown paper bag. You know,
Yeah.
it's massive and it's on the street and it's made a bit fun. And it is. The show's fun and camp and silly. And I think that is a tagline. That's a billboard that just really captures the tone.
Yeah, cool.
And I suppose a final thought for this morning would be a user-generated bit of content that worked really well. A couple of differences between this campaign and the Air New Zealand one is that the Air New Zealand one's only $1,000 and it's pretty low. 1,000 air points dollars as a prize, and as you said, it's a very low barrier to entry. All you have to do is bowl up to the website and tap your text into a box.
Yeah.
But Doritos they've run for the second year running. They've got this campaign called Make an Ad, Make a Fortune, and the idea is that you make a 30-second spot for Doritos, and if you win the competition, you get $30,000, and your ad gets played on TV. And so this year, the winner's just been announced. The standard was pretty high, and the winner was excellent. So I think if there's any lessons to be had out of it, it's if you want really good user-generated content, you need to have heaps of money. And if you want to make sure that it reflects well on you, only let the best ones out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and hide the other ones somewhere far away in a cupboard when they will never ever be seen. Simon, shall we go out on the winner, which is simply called Dennis of the Doritos campaign?
That would be lovely.
Yeah, SimonPound.com in the meantime. Thanks, Simon.
Okay, mate. Talk
Cheers.
soon.
See ya.
Bye.
My name's Dennis, and I'm Australian. I've got an Australian flag in my room. My best mate's name's Davo. It's a very Australian name. I've got a ute. The antenna on my ute is shaped like Australia. Yeah! I like watching sport when Australia's playing. And I really like eating Doritos because
they're Tasmanian.
Yeah.
Doritos. It would be un-Tasmanian not to.
Brilliant stuff. Here is the Robber. Track here called Just. It's Kiwi.